All right. My guest on today's podcast is Dr. Mohamad Ali Mishly. Often when we talk about entrepreneurs, it's the first thing that comes up to our mind are dropouts or corporate veterans who pivot into entrepreneurship. However, on today's podcast, our guest is showing us the new path of entrepreneurship. Somebody with a high, robust academic background, with a solid corporate background, and then pivoting into entrepreneurship. So, welcome to the first episode of Little Business Talk. It's great having you here. Mohammed, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, first allow me to say hi, Ali. Thank you for this opportunity today. I'm very excited to be with you on this podcast, and yeah, thank you for this interview. About myself, so this is Mohamad Ali Mishly. I'm originally from Lebanon. I moved to Canada, let me remember, like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I finished my bachelor and then my master's degree in Lebanon. Then I moved to Europe, got enrolled in my PhD degree for around like couple of years. I worked in Europe, then I moved to Toronto. We'll be speaking maybe in details about this.
Well, we need to dig deeper into
This is an overview
what you have done.
Sure. But this is very general about how I moved from a country to country, and I'm Toronto.
It's funny. I think it's 3 different countries within.
Right.
What was the time frame?
Within like 11 years.
11
total
years.
Of 11 years.
Right,
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. What really interested me that you have bachelor in MIS,
Right.
then you have a master's in literature study,
Yeah, literally.
then
studies.
an MBA,
An
then a
right.
PhD.
Yeah.
How did that go, and how did that impact your current status here as an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Let's say.
Right. So for some people, well, looking at this like academic profile, this might be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Moving from MIS then to business management. But look, when I first drew a path, it wasn't so clear for me.
Okay.
So I've chosen MIS because I liked very much working with systems and management and information. So the major of MIS is kind of mixing all these important things, which are trendy in these days, the management and the information system.
Exactly.
Putting them together is all what we are doing on a daily basis as entrepreneurs. So this was my first step. Then as I was finishing my bachelor, I feel tendency toward management.
Yeah.
So I felt that I need to go a bit towards a degree like MBA. The MBA was something that I wanted very much. So it was like just 6 months between finishing the MIS, then getting enrolled in the MBA. Not like maybe 1 year maximum. Then it took me around 3 years to finish MBA. I found myself in management.
Yeah.
More into leadership, more into dealing with
I would
people.
like to pause a bit here.
Sure.
A lot of the times, let's say now I have a brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's like just graduated. He's finishing his BS,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing that he wants to jump into work.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to have a better understanding. Did life drag you into an MBA, knowing that it is difficult to find a job back in your home country, or was it a combination of both? Difficulty in finding a job, and then you were looking into getting an MBA.
Yeah, this is a very important question. Well, actually, it was the need of the market.
Yeah.
So two main things. I felt that I have a deep love and tendency toward dealing with things and with people. So the concept of leadership is something I like, and I felt the need in the market to have a link between education and the practical experience.
Yeah.
So that and as a matter of fact, I was working while studying my MBA.
That's awesome.
So that was the case.
Okay. And then that changed into
Well, the MBA
changing the country, or
because I finished the MBA in Lebanon, and then I continued working in Lebanon. And after that, in with a couple of years, I moved to Portugal.
Right.
I received my job offer from Portugal
Okay.
and acceptance for the PhD program in industrial and systems engineering.
Okay.
So that was pretty exciting for me at
Yeah.
that time.
It's an exciting moment in terms of like first you're moving to a country
Right.
which like to be honest, like a lot of people go America or
Right.
Germany
Yeah.
or I don't know somewhere in Europe, but
Right.
how
come
come
Portugal?
it's Portugal,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's an interesting country.
Right.
We love it. We love a lot about Portugal in
It's so
different
nice, by
ways,
the way.
especially soccer,
Right.
the weather, and so on. But how was the choice in terms of education and work, and what took you there?
Yeah. So first,
And one more thing that I would like to know, you taking that decision, like was it hard for you taking that decision as well? So what took you there, and was it a difficult decision making it?
well, it was a big risk because I was moving from a place where I'm stable, I'm working,
Yeah.
and I have family, I mean everything, friends, everything I need is in Lebanon.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Lebanon.
Yeah.
So moving to somewhere else for me is a big risk.
Yeah.
But at a certain time, I've decided that I need to do something new, something big.
Yeah.
You know, moving, getting new experience, new connections. So I wanted first to go to Europe because I know there's some kind of experience. It does not exist in North America. So
Yeah.
Europe is different from North America.
Yeah, true.
So my first stop was Europe. I applied for a couple of universities in Germany
Okay.
and Portugal and France.
Uh-huh.
And then I was searching for the top 100 or top 50 universities
Yeah.
and applying for them. One of them was University of Minho in Portugal.
Okay.
And I received acceptance from them, just took my bag, packed my things and
Yeah.
and
And just
decided
jumped.
to go to Portugal.
So like, what was the main thing that, let's say, motivated you to do that? What were you seeing in that opportunity? Like, I'm not sure around that time what was happening in
Okay.
Portugal, but I know for some time the economy wasn't as good there.
Right.
So,
Right.
what drove you there? What kind of pushed you to
Mhm.
take this or to make this decision?
Right. So at that time, Portugal was trying to grab the big companies around the world, the big tech companies.
Yeah.
So the president of Portugal, he was able to get one of the big companies in the world, tech companies, to have a branch in Portugal. So
Okay.
the policy of the country was trying to be more open,
Uh-huh.
and they were trying to do some enhancements.
Yeah.
This was a big, motivation for me.
Yeah.
Another thing is when you move to a country in Europe, as if all of Europe is one country, because
Yeah.
it's the border thing does not exist.
Exactly.
So it's very
And
easy.
that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting, right?
Yeah. So the connection, the everything was for me exciting. Yeah.
Hmm. And then the shift from Portugal came to here or back to Lebanon and then
Yeah.
Lebanon to here.
It was from Portugal directly to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
okay.
decided to move here after a couple of years. I finished all the courses because I was switching from management to industrial engineering.
Yeah.
So it was required for me to take some courses in the core of engineering before being able to get enrolled in the PhD
Into
program.
PhD program.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've finished the courses, then started all the required courses, then started my working on the thesis.
Yeah.
After that, it was easier for me to move to North America and then moving back to Portugal every couple of months for
okay.
seeing the professor and meeting, getting to the workshops, meeting the professors. In the
catch ups.
Yeah,
catch ups
exactly.
in general. That's pretty interesting. And 2 years.
Yep,
in
2 years,
Canada,
2 exciting
now you're
years.
running
Right.
4 startups.
Yeah,
Doing
so
a lot of things going on. You have Kidsies,
Right.
Schema Zone, a lot of projects going on,
Sure.
right? So take us back and let's try to dig a bit deeper into when you first came to Canada.
Mhm.
How was the start in terms of work, in terms of culture, in terms of getting to know the community? How was that like?
Right.
You've had a solid education background. You've had a solid work experience, whether it is in Lebanon or in Portugal, which is and eventually international. So if you take us now, you're running 4 startups and you're
How
doing
did this happen?
crazy. Yeah. So what happened in those 2 years?
Yeah.
Take us there.
Exactly. So actually, when I decided to leave Portugal and move to Canada, the second I decided that I'm going to North America, I said, okay, I'm not working for companies anymore.
Okay.
So it was like a firm decision that I've made deep inside myself that I need to try something for myself.
Yeah.
Because
let me stop here. Is it based on your experience with Portugal or knowing North America and knowing how this country,
this
North
feeling,
America in general works?
This started deep inside me when I was in Lebanon.
Okay.
It was something just growing in me, the feel that I need to run the business the way I see things in this life.
Okay.
The big enthusiasm that I have deep inside me, I need to translate it into actions.
Yeah.
So this is more related to my character, the way I think. Then the circumstances helped me a lot.
Yeah.
So I got the experience from Europe.
Okay.
I got all the mindset, how big businesses work, big firms work. So
just to go back, in Lebanon, was it a smaller company? Maybe
It was a smaller company, but again, it was a very good experience for me because it was extensive experience. I've worked in several branches.
Exactly. I would like to highlight. We'll come back here, but that's really interesting to me because now when, let's say, we do have a lot of new graduates, right? And you, after 11 years, you can talk. You have put all the effort to have the right to talk about that. If let's say we're talking now to new graduates who are coming to the workforce, a lot of them, they just want to jump into the new big companies and so on. However, for me, and I'm not sure how it's that for you, I do see that you can learn a lot within small companies because a lot of the times you'll be wearing a lot more hats. You'll be the accountant, you'll be the technical guy, you'll be the sales guy, you'll be doing everything, right? So tell me a bit about that and how do you feel that helped you being you and maybe a bit of building your entrepreneurial part of you, right?
This is very, very important. And I'm gonna highlight this point exactly. At a certain phase in a person's life, a person needs to search for a leader, for a manager, who can work directly with him. That's the key point for building your character.
Sure.
For me, the Lebanese phase, my phase in Lebanon,
when you worked,
when I worked in Lebanon, was the key point for me, the key thing for me because I worked directly with a great manager. For around 6
I think
years.
that's one of the good things of
exactly.
smaller
I built my
company.
character.
There isn't that ladder or whatever. All the
you feel that you are attached to a person, not to a system, not to a machine. In big firms, you feel that you are thrown into a big machine. And kind of lost. Like how do I need to start? Who's gonna lead me, guide me, help me? But this is not the case in small companies. Small companies, and if you're lucky, you'll find a very close manager who can help you in many things, and you'll be working in several things and building a base.
Can you say, and if you didn't find a good manager, maybe you'll find the bad manager that you shouldn't be, for example, right?
So in both cases you learn.
You will learn either way, right? You might learn the good way or what not to do. Okay, so going back to the entrepreneurial Mohamad, Dr. Mohamad. So back to Canada. I'm jumping back because I found that interesting. Because I do believe that small companies, working in small companies, because I worked somehow within a smaller company, and that helps build the core of a person. So going back to entrepreneurship and how you started here.
In Canada.
You were new, building companies. How did that happen?
So from day one, I arrived on July 1st.
You still remember?
I still remember.
The good thing is on the 1st, so
exactly.
It's not like 23, 17.
And from day one, I just arrange things in a small den in my apartment.
Okay.
With the help of my wife and
Really?
my partner also. My wife is my business partner.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so from day one we've opened the laptop and we started building the business plan. Like
Okay.
from day one, from July 1st.
Did you have that in mind before
Yes,
coming
from
here?
like a couple of months before moving into Canada. In
So
Portugal.
you knew you were coming?
Exactly.
And
So
you
we
had the
started
plans
gathering plans and ideas
going for
about
the startup. Okay.
exactly.
So you've
And-
been researching the market and
That's it.
see how things work here.
Yeah, and the advantage for me is that my wife was in Canada for like 15 years.
Okay,
So yeah, she's familiar with the community,
with the community
business,
and so on.
everything.
Because one thing that I found fascinating about this country is that community, like it plays a big role, whether
Right.
it is in terms of work or your day-to-day life and personal life.
Right.
So knowing that your wife was already here before, I
Right.
think that helped a lot, and at least to better understand your community. Okay, so tell me
Yeah,
more.
and we had the idea like a couple of months before moving into Canada. Then when we moved here, we started drawing the plan. We started just going into making new connections, seeing where we need to turn this idea into real thing, tangible thing.
Yeah.
So from there, we moved with Schema Zone, which was the first startup. It's a consulting. So with our experience, Lina, my partner, she has a very good experience in several industries that I don't like, the oil and gas.
Okay.
Yeah, like the energy. She worked for a nuclear energy company. Her experience and my experience together, they've made something nice, you know.
Yeah.
And we were able, mixing these experiences, to go into the consulting industry.
How were you able to find this partner?
She's my wife.
Oh,
Yeah,
your wife.
she's my
Okay,
wife.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so with her experience, my experience, we put them together and we were able to build a consulting like boutique, small startup.
Okay.
It started from there.
Okay.
And things...
Is it like business?
Yeah,
consulting?
well, we work with now me, her, and a couple of consultants with extensive experiences. We do consultations in 8 different industries.
Okay.
Most of the consultations are in the tech industry, the e-commerce.
Yeah.
You know, some we're trying to go into the public sector. Now, you know, it's not so easy because usually the big companies are dominating this industry. Yeah. But we're trying to go into this. Okay. Yeah, and this was the start in Canada.
Okay.
This was the start.
And knowing that your wife was your partner, and you have been married for how long before coming?
Just around, before coming to Canada, for around a year or something.
A year
and
or
something.
so.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were in Portugal and between all the travel,
we were working. Yeah, we were working in both in the same company in Portugal.
Okay.
She was a manager in the continuous improvement department. I was a manager in another department.
Oh, okay.
So again, this was also an interesting story in Portugal.
Okay, that's really interesting. So that's how Schema Zone, right? Happened.
Yep.
And started. Okay, so you started company as soon as you came here, and then what happened with the new startup, or what led to that new product? Let's say.
So the second project, which was Kids International.
Yeah.
Actually, this has to do with our experience in Portugal, because we worked for one of the biggest e-commerce companies in the industry of luxury fashion. Kids in the industry of fashion. So our experience in Europe gave us a very solid, let's say, infrastructure, and also knowledge about this industry, and we felt a need in the North American market.
Yeah.
The first thing that you can usually go to is your iPhone.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
your mobile, just to check the apps and the
For me, it's my iPhone.
Okay. So, sure. The mobile. So things are turning into e-commerce. So we decided to go into a niche market, which is the kids fashion.
Okay.
And building this marketplace from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, it represented something very nice for us. And still, every day we were seeing that there is a big potential for this idea to go very big in North America.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're now...
So we have Schema Zone, Kids International. In Kids International, we have a team of almost 13 people. We have around, the tech team is 7 people, software engineers, UI UX designers, and the QA testers. We have also a team of 4 people working on marketing and the other things, business development. And in Schema Zone we have also a couple of consultants, so we are a team of almost 5 people in Schema Zone.
Yeah.
So if I want to say the whole team for the 4 projects I'm working on, around 22 people.
Okay.
No.
Okay. That's really interesting, and that brings me to something like 4 different projects, 22 people. Where do you see the challenge, struggle that you were facing, at least at the beginnings, to figure out these people, especially again coming to a new country, and then dealing, I'm not sure if they're all from within the same community or not, but then dealing with different people, different mentalities and so on. How was that, and how was starting a company in Canada? Like, if we talk at a high level, okay, we just started a company, but then for a lot of people, just taking that action is not easy. So
it is right. It is not easy at all. Well, thankfully, the government made the part of the legal things very easy in Canada just to start a company. But for me, if you want to ask me what's the biggest challenge, I would say building a structure and leading people.
Yeah.
Those 2 things are
finding the right partner.
Exactly. Well, that was easy for me.
That was easy, but again, I think
this is one of the advantages that I have.
Yeah, because running a startup, you're a one-man show, right? Eventually, and then again, knowing that you do have a strong partner,
you can rely on your partner and give her because Lina now is leading all the tech team.
Yeah.
So I'm not engaged in this,
Yeah, so
this is
more into the business management side.
And the marketing.
Okay.
Exactly. So leading people, building a structure, those are the most challenging parts in building something new.
Yeah. What's something that you feel that you did not know when it comes to managing, or let's say leading people, that you feel that it has grown with you within this within the new environment, let's say?
Well, making your team committed to your idea, this is one of the hardest things to do.
Do you think you can make them committed? Because as much as you are, for example, of course it will not reach that level, right? Because it's your idea eventually, but how were you able to juggle that, like to get them into
this
that
has to do
momentum?
with the leadership character. It has to do big time with your character, because it's your baby.
Yeah.
So you are the most excited about this idea. To get people excited and committed and dedicated to this idea, it's not easy. You need to convince them that this idea is gonna grow. It's not gonna fail, because it's from scratch.
Exactly.
I'm starting something from zero, so people have doubts about, is this gonna happen or not?
Yeah.
Am I putting my time in the right project or the wrong project? This is challenging. This is 1. 2, keeping them. So now I've been working on some of these projects for 2 years. So these people are with me since 2 years. It's not easy.
It's not
easy. Because they felt that this is happening, and this is going to somewhere nice.
So we can say the reflection of your effort and work is reflecting on them, and that's what's helping them into.
Well, this is
keeping the momentum.
Yeah, this is the big part. Because
okay.
a daily contact with your team is one of the indispensable things that you need to do.
So let's say, do you check out on the team
every day?
Let's say your partner checks on the technical team and so on every day.
And we have employees who are working remotely, and this is more challenging for us.
Exactly.
Because not
everyone. Tell me more about that. And in terms of challenge, like I know a lot of the time when somebody's working remotely, a lot of things could be running into their head, right?
Right.
And at the same time, for you as a company, you are providing flexibility. So they do have the flexibility. Right. You are providing flexibility in terms of your company and for your employee. But at the same time, there is a lot of challenges.
Things to worry about, because
mentally, let's say, especially knowing here, mental health is a big issue here, right?
Right.
And in this country. So talking about that, for somebody working remotely, what are the things that you do in order to maintain the engagement with the rest of the team or with you as leadership?
Well, couple of important things you need to keep in mind. You need the right tools first.
Yeah.
So because connecting with people needs to be also organized within certain platforms, within certain channels. You need to build the right channels. You need to find the right tools, and you need to build a close communication channel. This is also very important because they are not seeing you.
May I know what kind of tools do you use?
Exactly,
now?
we have project management platforms. I want to say maybe the name of the platform, but we do use it like a task manager. So everyone receive his tasks on this platform, and all things are going in one place. So you feel as if you have one board for the like eight people team. This is one. Also, you have platforms for the. It's like a room where we all work together. You know, with the voices, as if you are in an office. This also helps a lot. So these platforms and tools are.
Is it an internal or is it something?
No, external, just web-based.
It's a web-based.
Our platforms are because my team, some of them are in Africa, South Africa, some in the States, in Mexico, in Emirates, in Kuwait, in Lebanon, in Syria, like all over the world. And this is the nice part of working in some tech companies. You don't have to be in a certain place. You can work just from any place.
So the engagement and knowing the tasks is big.
The organization, the engagement, the communication. These three things are really important.
The communication. I think communication is very, 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 very important when it comes to the engagement. And how do you manage that? Like there is is the project management tool different than the communication tool?
Exactly, because the one that we use
platforms. Okay.
Right. The one that we use does not support communication channel. Just as a matter of fact. Now some platforms does. This doesn't. So we found something different where we can all sit inside the room. The voice is open. Anyone can ask anything, and as if we are in one room. And also we have the traditional ones like the Skype, the email. Now also I wanna mention something. WhatsApp is now part of the communication channels for startups because it's making life easier. You know, this one of the things that we use on a daily basis. This is pretty much the main things to have channels set up.
And when I want to, before I reflect into something else, I wanted to reflect a bit on the technology and what you are currently using, let's say. When we talk about the project management tool or using communication apps and so on, how was for you as a startup or as a business, knowing these platforms and the way you engaged with these vendors, how was it like in terms of, let's say, if you need any kind of support and so on? Was it something easy for you to source, or was it something challenging, or do you feel as a startup or as a company you feel you needed more support and more attention from those vendors?
Regarding these tools and platforms? These
tools in general.
So basically what we've chosen was reliable. So we've chosen something professional, so we don't have problems regarding the small bugs that you need support for. So up till now we didn't actually have any obstacle regarding the platforms and tools we are using. So it was like smooth regarding this. We're worrying about how to get our team productive, how to get our team committed. These things are taking most of our time. The communication, the leadership, productivity. This is the challenging part for us.
That's quite interesting. Let's move away from all the companies and so on. In general, whether it is regarding business or technology, knowing that you're juggling between both, or you are doing both somehow. What is something that you are curious about, whether it is in terms of leadership and managing people or business management, or whether it is technology? What's something that you feel like you're curious about, you're trying to learn more or dig deeper into? Anything that comes to mind?
And into tech, I would like to just say general thing. The most thing that we worry about is staying up to date with what's happening in this, some might say, crazy world. You know, in tech, the guys they use some technologies that are so up to date, but we find that things are just developing very fast.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and new things are coming into the market. So they worry about how we need to build something that can scale up
Yeah.
and stay up to date with what's happening in the world,
Yeah.
in a rapidly changing world. In the business thing, it's a different story, but what I'm curious to get into and to learn more is basically dealing with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go more into maybe the psychological, because for example, one of the problems is that sometimes I use different approaches to get the
Yeah.
person doing
Yeah.
something, but again, all fail.
Yeah.
All these
Yeah.
approaches.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about learning more approaches to get people more productive.
This takes me somewhere really interesting. I feel like, and I think that's something good that's happening in the world, that in general, can we say that business is becoming more human?
Exactly.
Like, you feel like brands are trying to relate to a cause or to a purpose,
That's right.
and even companies, they are trying to relate to communities
That's
and
right.
causes and purpose and so on. And then again, they are trying to connect with their employees in different aspects. What's your input here, or how do you see that? Can we say that it's becoming more human,
That's totally
or
right.
we're just trying to figure out this all crazy world right now?
Well, I believe it is, and it should be.
Mm.
It should be going this way, because people, they want to feel that they are dealing not with machines and systems.
Yeah.
They need to feel that they are being treated as humans, and they are treating also humans who
Yeah.
can understand them. Dealing with a machine is something nice, but again, it is a machine.
Yeah.
It has no
eventually.
feelings,
Yeah.
and you need to tell this machine how to work.
Exactly.
So, putting systems and machines and processes, you need to link them in a certain way to things that people are familiar with.
Yeah.
A cause is something, all
Yeah.
of these things. And this is working.
Okay, but let me tell you about something.
Yeah.
Now that we see that brands, communities, companies are going towards the humanitarian part of business, do you believe it matters to know if that company is actually doing it for the business part of it, to gain business, or it doesn't matter eventually that they are doing good? Like, they are doing good, so it doesn't matter. Do you ever think about it like, okay, they are trying to do good, but only so that they benefit from a business side, but that doesn't matter as long as they are paying?
Yeah. So for me, from a personal perspective, it differs. If you're
Yeah.
doing this because you feel responsible towards your people and your community,
Yeah.
or if you're doing this for doing money.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing this just to sell more, that's part of what you're used to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
But if you're doing things because
and
you
eventually
feel,
it will show, right? Like,
exactly, and you cannot be on the long run maybe consistent on doing this. But
Yeah.
when you do this because you feel that I'm responsible towards these people, you will most probably you will remain
and
doing this.
I truly believe that's when the right leaders
Mhm.
lead into the right direction,
Right.
within the right purpose.
Right.
This is coming to an end. It was really great having you here. I usually would like to end it with two main questions. Is there anything that you think I should have asked or dig deeper into?
Well, you've covered most of the things,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm satisfied.
Okay, that's
What
good to
discuss.
know. Anything coming to your in terms of business, or anything coming soon?
Well, many things
Anything?
are coming always,
Okay.
and I would like to keep in touch with you. Maybe we will have another interview to tell you more about
What's coming.
where my projects are going and what's coming new.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for this interview, Ali, for your time.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I want to wish you success also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.